What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and follow on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can get your podcasts. Leave a comment, share with a friend, help grow this garden, and it is very much appreciated. Now, today's positive motivational message. Be true to yourself. I feel like now more than ever, we are living in the time of the influencer, where, influence is in abundance. We have it all over our phones. That's just the thing. That's what today's society is. It's the age of the influencer. And I think when you get inundated with that so much, it becomes easy for you to want to be like that, to replicate, or to be influenced. And to an extent, it's okay to be inspired, but when you focus so much on what other people are doing that you're wanting to be like them and not be like yourself, that becomes a problem. Inspiration is a good thing, to inspire you to become a better person or a better version of yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, so long as that's the direction you want to go in. What I'm talking about is feeling like you're not enough, and you need to be more like that. You need to look more like this. You need to act more like that. That's not true. Be yourself. Be true to you. You are a unique individual in itself. Do the things you love. Go the places you want to go. Be you. Don't try to be like others. Be yourself. Be true to yourself. That is the message this week. And here's the thing. I find myself struggling with this. It's easy for me to be like, I find it easy, at least, doom scrolling. That's something I've been doing a lot lately. There's another positive motivational message. Stop doom scrolling. Because it really is. It's bad for you. You end up just like getting sucked into this. But anyway, I do find myself seeing certain people and the way they are and the things that they're doing. And I'm like, am I enough? Am I doing enough? Am I, And sometimes it will inspire me to do more. But in reality, it's like, am I just trying to be like that and not be true to what I want to be like? So it's a struggle sometimes. And I'm here to tell you, you do you. Be true to yourself. And with that, we'll go ahead and get into today's episode. It's episode 246 of Life's a Garden. Welcome back. My first episode back since announcing my retirement from podcasting. Oops. Did I trick ya? Hey, you know what? I gotta even hand it to myself. I didn't think that was gonna work. I thought it was too obvious. But apparently, you can still trick some people with a good old-fashioned April Fool's joke. For those of you who might be a little surprised that I even have an episode today, because you still think I was serious about that being my last episode, well, now we know who watches the show, don't we? I mean, I felt so bad, honestly. I really did, because I don't like tricking people. I mean, it was a little fun, and the fact that it worked made it all the more worth it. It just, the payoff, really, it was nice. But I don't like tricking people. And so I did feel bad about that. So much so that I made sure, like, the day I posted the podcast last week, I wanted to make sure I, like, put it out there, like, hey, this is a joke. Not actually done podcasting. And so, you know, first of all, let me just say this. Well, I guess first I'll say I'm sorry to any of you that feel slighted by me. But I will say thank you to everybody for, you know, the amount of people who actually, like, reached out and were like, oh man, this sucks. Like, it's sad to see that that you're done doing this. You know, I've enjoyed the episodes. I've enjoyed clips, you know. There was a pretty good amount of people that actually were a little upset at the idea of the podcast being done, which makes me feel good because it makes me feel like we're actually doing something here. Like, this is worth watching, or like people actually enjoy this. Like, it was like an actual acknowledgement of the podcast being worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? And in return, remember last week, if you listened, which, by the way, a lot of people tuned in. Awesome. Love that. And I did mention that it was a bit of a marketing scheme where I knew I was going to get more listeners. And hey, guess what? Last week's episode did dummy numbers compared to most solo episodes. Like, it's one of the higher rated or higher viewed solo episodes I've done in a while. So kudos to all of you guys for tuning in. In addition, the clip, like, almost 1,000 views. So kudos to all you guys. Appreciate the support, appreciate the listening, the tuning in, you know, all that. But I did mention last week that I have been kind of reluctant to do the podcast, or, you know, there are times when it feels like I'm not, or like I have to do the podcast in a way. There are weeks where that is the case. After last week, the amount of, you know, people reaching out and the amount of people that showed that they care, it really juiced me up to do this. So this week, I am fully excited. You know, I'm excited to be here all week. It was like kind of a jolt of energy last week's episode, because I gotta admit, well, because I think of it was the bit of it all. It was the idea of what the episode was, the fact that it was a prank, the fact that it was my last episode. It was something different and exciting and new, something we haven't done before here on the show, and it made me feel rejuvenated. In addition to the amount of people that, you know, you don't always hear or see the people that watch or listen. It's not like people come up to me and are just like, oh, listen to the episode this week, like, great job, you know, which I'm not expecting. But it's nice once in a while to get a little bit of acknowledgement and to realize how many people actually listen or actually care. So kudos to all of you. It worked out, like, it all worked out in a positive way, really. The trickster in me helped bring out a new, like a rejuvenated side of me to continue doing this. So, I mean, and like I said, to those of you who are like, hey, I thought he said last week was his last episode. What the hell's going on here? You don't listen. You don't listen to the show, and you didn't see the hundreds of posts on every single platform that I'm on that said that it was a joke. So, shame on you. But, thank you to all those that did tune in, and hopefully you're tuning in this week, because, hey, it ain't our last episode. We move forward. Let's see, what do we got going on this week? March Madness. We are in the Final Four. We are down to the Final Four. Final Four will be officially have been done by the time the podcast came out, or this podcast is out. And I believe, is it Monday tonight? As of the airing of this, being the championship? Does it go Saturday, then Monday? Well, let me see here. March Madness. Show me. Yes, Monday. Monday night. So tonight will be the championship. We don't know who it's between because I'm recording this episode before the actual Final Four games have finished. First time since, I believe, 2008 that all 4 number 1 seeds have made the Final Four. We got Florida versus Auburn, and we got Houston versus Duke. Well, and so both my brackets have been busted, which, bummer. But I've never won a bracket, I don't think. I think I might have got second one time. This is the year of the girlfriend that got thrown into a bracket, or because everybody overanalyzes these things. Like, when you think you know what you're doing, you definitely don't know what you're doing. Like, you can do pretty well, but you overanalyze. Like, every guy or gal, if any person that follows or pays attention to college basketball, or even has like a slight know, or maybe listen to all the analysts and pundits and all that stuff, you're gonna like overassess and be like, well, there's no way all the number 1 teams are gonna get there. It never doesn't happen hardly ever. I think 2008 was the only other time it has happened. But it just seems too easy. And I think this year there was only 2 real big upsets. That never happens either. You're always predicting these upsets. So most brackets were kind of fucked anyway. Even though I'm sure most people probably had at least 2 number 1s in their Final Four, I would imagine. But yes, this is the first time. So this is the year for the uninformed person to come in and just blow the bracket out of the water, because they're like, well, they're the number 1 team. They should beat this team, right? It's obvious. Well, this year, it was obvious. Apparently. Let me see. What are my predictions? I think I'm going to take Auburn over Florida, even though I think that's going to be a hell of a game. I am taking Florida over Auburn, Auburn over Florida, because I did pick Auburn in one of my brackets, so it would be nice to have picked the winner in one of my brackets. I had Michigan State in the other one, and they're out. And then Houston versus Duke, I think I gotta go with Duke, man. Like, they're just too good. Like, they are who we thought they were. Duke. So, yeah, that's my prediction. I'm going to take Auburn versus Duke in the championship. We'll see if I'm right. Like I said, the games have not happened yet. And, they have, as of the time you're listening to this. So the championship will be tonight between 2 number 1 teams. I'm sure it's going to be a great championship game. I'm sure those Final Four games were awesome. What else was I going to... Oh, I thought I had something else to say with March Madness. Oh, what's the women's bracket look like? Come on. TCU's in there. Texas is in there. I don't remember who's playing who, though. UConn's in there. Women's. Oh, and those already happened. The Final Four already happened in the women's. So UConn beat UCLA, and South Carolina beat Texas. So it is UConn versus South Carolina. That's happening Sunday. So I don't know. Again, I don't know who won that championship. We'll find out. Like, we'll know by the time this is out. So UConn versus South Carolina. Hey, to whoever won, congratulations to you. I'm going to predict UConn just because it's UConn and they're always just so damn good. Oh, yes. Guess who still has the high score on the old pop shot at Hooligan Sports Bar? And it's not the same high score, I might add. It is a new high score. I broke my old record. and I'm going to try and break it again today. So, hopefully I will be taking home that basketball hoop, because your boy, Jokic, the White Mamba. No, it wasn't the White Mamba. Isn't that what they called Brian Scalabrine? Was the White Mamba? Old Scal. Speaking of Jokic and the Nuggets, and while we're on the topic of basketball, I gotta just vent for a minute, okay? That game against the Minnesota Timberwolves was one of the most devastating losses I've ever experienced watching any sport. For one, it was a hell of a game. You know, competitive. Whenever it's a close, competitive game like that, you never want it. You don't want to be on the losing side of that. You want to come out the victor, because you've fought so hard. You've watched. I mean, for me, I'm just watching, but I've invested a lot of time in this and a lot of like anxiety and excitement. So you want it to come out the winner. I mean, you always want to come out the winner, but you know what I'm saying? Like you put in all that time. You watch these guys put in so much effort and work, and then to watch it all crumble, that sucks. Now, for it to happen the way that it did is not only heartbreaking, it's infuriating. For those of you that didn't see, Nikola Jokic had a 61-point triple-double, the highest scoring triple-double ever in NBA. And then my boy Russell Westbrook. And I'm not going to blame him, okay? I'm not, like, he put up a great game. Did he have a couple of boneheaded moves there at the end that inevitably did cost us the game? Yes. I'm more pissed off that he missed. I'm not as pissed off that he fouled the guy on the 3-point line. I'm pissed that he missed a wide open fucking layup. Now, that's one mistake, okay? When you're coming back down the court and the guy's pulling up for a buzzer beater game winning 3, just let the guy shoot it. He's either going to be a hero or we win the game. You know what I mean? Like, the pressure is on him. You foul him on the 3-point line, and now you're just giving them the game. Now, one thing I do want to say, and of course, I'm a biased Nuggets fan, so this is probably going to come out like I'm a whiny bitch. I don't think that the refs should have called that. I think it was close enough that you don't, like, especially the circumstances of that game, where they were at, the amount of effort that had gotten put forward into that game. Sorry, something's making noise and it's irritating me. Considering the circumstances of the game, the amount of effort that was put forward, how close it was in double overtime. Jokic played the entire second half and both overtimes. And you're gonna let the game end on a fucking walk-off free throws? How disappointing, not only for Nuggets fans, but for anybody that was watching that game. If you weren't even a fan of either of those teams, it's disappointing to be like, oh, well, this is how it's gonna end. It's like that would be like a team in football. You're not even in field goal range, right? Like the team's gonna knee the ball essentially, or they're gonna go for like a Hail Mary. That'd be the equivalent. If a team is on the 60-yard line, there's no chance for a field goal. You're on a game-winning drive. You throw a Hail Mary, and then the other team commits a pass interference, and now you have an easy game-winning field goal. That would be the equivalent of how that would go. And if it was in, like, double overtime. It's so disappointing. And I'm not going to get down on Russ. The thing, you know what really fucking sucked? Is I was wearing my Russell Westbrook jersey that night. First time I wore it. And Russ was the martyr of the game. You know, he's the one that everybody's blaming, which, fair enough. He wasn't not the reason we lost. You know what I mean? He wasn't the reason. It wasn't like anybody else fouled that guy. So he does deserve some blame, but I'm not going to like crucify him for it. Because I still like him and I still think he's... And of course, in addition to all that, let's not forget that it was a very important game to win as far as playoffs go. Well, then the NBA decided to schedule us on a back-to-back, so the Nuggets didn't even start anybody the next week, or the next night, because everybody had just played 50 fucking minutes of hard-nosed basketball in a losing effort. So, of course, we lost to the San Antonio Spurs, who have nobody on their team right now, because all their guys are hurt. And then we lost last night to the Golden State Warriors. So, that's 3 in a row. At least 3 in a row. It might even be more. And from going from being basically a shoo-in for a 2 or 3 seed in the playoffs, we're kind of almost struggling. We're like fighting for our playoff lives at this point, because the West is just incredibly tough. After the Warriors beat us, they might even go past us in the rankings. We might be the 6th seed. That's how close this shit is. And then you got the Timberwolves coming up too. They could leapfrog us, and we'd be a 7 seed. In that case, we'd be playing for the play-in tournament. Dude, I seriously... Like, this tail end of the Nuggets season is starting to frustrate me. Because we are supposed to be one of the best teams out there. And we are just on the struggle bus. So many guys not playing, getting hurt, not playing to their potential. Jokic is the only shining light consistently every single week on that team. Which brings me to this. If you think Nikola Jokic is not the MVP of the NBA, you are way off. Like, it's not even close. I don't want to hear jack shit about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Hey, dude's a great player. Phenomenal player. Like, scoring-wise, he is incredible. And he is the MVP of the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is the reason that they're doing so well. And yes, I know they're the number 1 team. But they also have a very young roster who plays very good defense. One thing the Nuggets do not do. They play great defense. They stay healthy. They have a consistent lineup week to week. And all Shai does is shoot. He's not making the other guys around him better. He's just uplifting. He's just keeping the team on top because of his scoring. But he's not making everybody else around him better the way Jokic does. Passing, rebounding, even his defense. Jokic's defense has improved every single year. He's top 3 in like 5 categories, which I don't think has ever been done. He's put up 2 historical performances this year when he did the 30, 20, and 20 game, and then the 61-point triple-double. Those are 2 historic performances. And you can see that when Jokic isn't playing, we suck. So I truly believe if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was not, like, if he missed a couple weeks with the Thunder, they wouldn't even sweat. They would be just fine. They might lose a couple games. If, like, let's say on a 5-game streak, or there's like 5 games in a row that Shai Gilgeous is out. I still think they win 3 or 4 of those games. If Jokic is out, I don't feel as confident that the Nuggets would win 3 or 4. I think they're going to win 2. You know? Because that's how crucial Jokic is to that team. He has the biggest plus minus of any player in the NBA. So, for me, let me just say, all due respect to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's probably going to win the MVP, and that's fine. Like, I'm not going to bitch and moan about it. Like, he is deserving of it. But if you think he is the best basketball player in the world right now, you're not even close. Like, you're so off on that take. Because there is one of one, Nikola Jokic, greatest basketball player in the NBA today. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And here's the thing. Everybody knows it. That's almost even more ridiculous, is the fact that everybody knows that Shai's probably going to get the MVP, but everybody also knows that Jokic is better than him. Like, it's all about the optics of it. It's all about the, voter fatigue and, like, not wanting to see, it's like, we don't want the same guy winning MVP all the time, kind of a thing. But as so long as everybody else knows, as long as it's like well thought that, like, the majority of people out there know that Jokic is the best, he's the MVP in the public's eye, I can live with that. And I think he doesn't care about that either. He's not going to, like, if he doesn't win MVP, he's not going to go cry. He's got 3 other ones. He's doing just fine. He's been acknowledged. He has the hardware. And if he doesn't win it this year, he's the uncrowned MVP still. And everybody will look back on this year and say, oh, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's MVP. They're going to look, like, 5 years from now, they'll look at those stats of Shai and of Jokic and be like, how the fuck did this guy win? Jokic is averaging a triple-double as a center. I don't think that's ever been done in the history. Has anybody ever averaged a triple-double? I think Westbrook did in his MVP campaign. I'm pretty sure. So Westbrook's going to win MVP when he gets his averaging triple-double, but Jokic isn't. I guess it's still undetermined, like, Jokic could still win the MVP. I'm just going off of what everyone else is saying, and that's that Shai's going to win it. But that would be a mistake. On the other end of Denver sports, the Colorado Avalanche clinched the playoffs, and they're looking pretty damn good. They had a couple of tough games there for a minute, but every team has, like, you hope the good teams, even the good teams, when they're doing great, they'll have a little bit of a slide now and again. And that is natural. That happens. But the Colorado Avalanche have been looking very nice. They've clinched the playoffs. I have way more faith in them to win a championship this year than the Nuggets, honestly. And I hate to say that because I love the Nuggets. I'm just hopeful that when the Nuggets get in the playoffs, a light switch goes off and they just become this unbelievable force. That's the only thing I can hope for, because right now, from what I'm seeing from them, it's not saying that that's going to happen. Like, it's looking pretty rough right now. But like I said, the Avalanche, they're looking good. I'm excited about them. Also, want to mention shout out to Alex Ovechkin from the Capitals, Washington Capitals, just tied Wayne Gretzky's all-time scoring record, which nobody thought was ever going to get broken. Congrats to Ovechkin for that. Not a huge Ovechkin fan. I don't hate him, but, you know, he is damn good, obviously, and well-deserving of that title. Sucks that it's going to a Ruski, but hey, the dude earned it. He clearly put in the work. He's up there in age, and he's still knocking the puck in. You know, good for him. So, shout out to Alex Ovechkin tying the record. I'm sure it will be broken here soon. Oh, and also, let me go ahead and shout out my boy Cale Makar. 30 goals as a defenseman. I don't think that's... They said the last guy that did it, I can't remember his name, but it's been a long time since a goalie got 30 goals in a season. So, shout out to Cale Makar. Speaking of MVPs, though, McKinnon, I think, should be a back-to-back MVP winner. That's just me. That's just my take. Yeah. Oh, and I guess while I'm on a roll here talking about Colorado sports teams, can't leave out the wonder that is the Colorado Rockies. Can't leave them out. I believe we're 1-6 to start the season. Yeah. Rockies are going to... They might be one of the worst teams in the MLB this year. Like, I remember a time when those... I knew everybody on the team. And I'm not a baseball guy. Like, I actually kind of hate baseball. But we were so good, it was hard not to watch. Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, Blackman, Cargo. Like, they had so many guys. It was a great team. Just squandered all that away because we never had pitching. Never have, never will. And those were great times. Like, at least they were competitive. Now, I couldn't tell you a single dude that plays for the Rockies. And it's so disappointing because that stadium is one of the greatest, it's one of the most beautiful stadiums in all of sports, not just baseball, but it's a perfect stadium. Right in the heart of downtown. I can't say enough about Coors Field. It's awesome. And it's being wasted on the Colorado Rockies. So, they just need to be bought out. They need new ownership. But why would the owner let it go? Like, they make so much money still. It's just frustrating, to say the least. Yeah, what do you do? What do you do? Sorry about that. Had to take a little break for a second there. My mom just messaged me a video. She's at a protest downtown. Wasn't aware that there was an organized protest happening. Apparently but now I'm looking it up. The hands-off anti-Trump protests across the United States. Like I said, I was not aware that this was happening. And I've been reading to try and figure out what they're protesting exactly. And I'm going to be honest, I'm having a hard time figuring it out here. Let me try and find a different article. Like, it sounds, from what I read, okay, here. Thousands rally in hands-off protest against Trump policies and Musk-led government cuts. Okay. They're saying government overreach type thing. I thought it would have been about, like, the immigration stuff. You know? Like, because I feel like most people, when they protest, it has more to do with, like, human rights stuff, which totally makes sense, you know? Whatever I believe in, whether, you know, when it comes to abortion, or gay marriage, or, you know, trans rights, things like that, when it's like a human rights type thing, and I'm gonna leave my beliefs out of it. Whatever you believe, you know, I understand people being upset about that, one way or the other. Whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, I mean, I have a hard time with people that are against gay marriage, because it just doesn't. I know it's a religious thing if you're against it, but like, you know, they're not hurting anybody. Same with the trans people, you know, like I'm not anti-trans. I think it's strange, and I think it's like a little overly pushed. But if you want to do, you do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? I just said I wasn't gonna bring my beliefs into this, and here I am doing that. But usually that's kind of seems to be more of a protest thing. And I understand that. You know, I get wanting to look out for the well-being of your fellow man. Very rarely, especially on the left, do you see protests about, like, government handlings. Like, when it comes to, like, you know, cuts, like this, apparently. They're pissed off about cutting wasteful government spending. I mean, don't get me wrong. I voted for Trump, you know, like that was my decision. That was the choice I made. You know, we're what, 3 months into his presidency. I'll admit there's things that he's done that I'm not exactly, you know, that I'm not like in full support of. I do believe that we need to cut government spending and waste. I think that seems like an obvious thing. Do I think they're going about it in the most perfect way? No. I think there's definitely mistakes being made. I think the Musk thing is a little strange. I choose to believe that what they're doing will benefit in the long run. I understand why people think, you know, why people are seeing this and being like kind of cautious and freaked out about it. I find myself being that way from time to time. But yeah, the hands-off protest. I was not made aware. I like I said, I'm still kind of trying to figure out what it's protesting, like what they're protesting. It feels funny to like protest for more government, because they're talking about government cuts, right? They're talking about government jobs and government funding and stuff like that being cut. Let me say this. When it comes to like social programs like welfare and WIC and what are some of those other programs, you know, like food stamps, I am in support of those. I grew up on those. We needed that shit when we were growing up, and it helped. I think people abuse it. I think that we need a better system when it comes to like finding out who needs it, who deserves it. I have no problem with government money going to help those in need. So if that's part of this, understandable, you know, because that kind of does come down to a human rights type thing. I'm also on team, you know, don't let the government just bail you out of everything, and don't rely on the government to rule your life and to like, you know, less government. I'm always less government. That's kind of what we were built on, right? That's what this country was built on. And the protest thing, you know, it's funny because almost always protests come from the left. I'm sure there's been some, I mean, I guess, let me just roll that one back for a second, because the insurrection, that was a pretty gnarly protest by the right. So I'll roll that one back. I do think, you know, it definitely comes more on the left side. And I got nothing against protests, you know, like freedom of speech, freedom of to you know, express your beliefs. But here's my thing with protests. I feel like they just don't do anything. Like, okay, you got out there, you said your piece, you showed your cards, you let people know like how you feel about this certain situation, or what is it? policy. But what does it do? Like, I understand, like, the purpose of it is to, like, gain awareness and to show, like, this is how many people are against what you're doing or blah, blah, blah. But does it really enact any kind of change? Not really. It feels like a waste of time, in my opinion. Like, I understand, like, and I know the clapback to that would be, that they're out there, just showing their support and just showing support for whatever, and it's like noble. It's a noble thing to do. But I'm like, you can do that from your living room. You can show your support. Like, I don't know. I get it. I get, you're out there, you're showing the numbers of people that are in support of whatever or opposed to whatever. But it just feels like it never does anything. That's just my thought on it. And I feel like protesting in Billings, Montana is not, I would never want violence upon anybody for whatever your beliefs are. So if there's anybody out there like fucking with those people or, shouting nasty shit or, that's not cool. Just because people disagree with you doesn't give you the right to shit on their beliefs. You know what I mean? Or especially to cause harm. That is never called for. But the society we live in, people definitely take their beliefs to an extreme. And the funny thing about that is I feel like that's the left a lot of the times, are the ones that they're so driven in their beliefs that they will enact violence upon you to prove it. But it goes both ways. I know it goes both ways. I'm not sitting here saying that it's a one-way street. It's definitely not. So I may disagree with people on certain things, and we can have disagreements, but I'm never going to tell you that you're wrong for, like, of course I have my opinions, and I guess I do believe that you're wrong in what you believe, but I'm not going to say you're wrong for believing it, because you are being true to yourself. Look at that. I figured it out. I figured out a way to bring it back. I figured out a way to bring the positive message back. You're being true to yourself. Only you have your life experiences that dictated the way that you think, feel, and believe. And I'll never look down on somebody for that. You know what I mean? We can have differing beliefs, and that's okay. We can do it peacefully. And that goes both ways. But I was not aware of this protest. My mom is there. So I'll get all the inside information. I can't let this episode end without mentioning Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer passed away this week. R.I.P. to Val Kilmer. He didn't have really a long stint as far as like that top tier actor, or just being that top tier actor in Hollywood. But dude, let me just say, this guy, phenomenal actor. Tombstone is one of the greatest movies of all time. Monster cast, but it is fully led by him. I mean, I know he's a side character. Kurt Russell is the main guy, and Kurt Russell, killer in that movie. But it is the role of Doc Holliday that is the icing on the cake for that movie. And it is purely because of the performance by Val Kilmer. Some of the greatest lines in cinema history I'm your Huckleberry. My favorite line, to be honest, is when there's the one line when he goes, "Why are you doing all this?" And he goes, "Wyatt Earp is my friend." The other guy goes, "I got a lot of friends." And Doc Holliday goes, "I don't." Oh, but actually, that's a great line. My favorite, though, is when he says, when he's talking to, what's his name? Johnny Ringo. And he's like, "We got a game to finish. Play for blood. I was just fooling about." I wasn't. Just, and the fact that he played sick, like, the tuberculosis thing, just a fucking great performance. Did he win a award for that? Did he get best supporting actor for that role? I would imagine so. Val Kilmer Awards. Because and by the way, can we mention just in his prime? Oh, that's another good line. I'm in my prime. In his prime, fucking damn good looking fella. Oh yeah, he played Jim Morrison in The Doors. That was a great role. He was in Willow? I didn't know that. Top Gun, of course. Can't forget Top Gun. He was Goose. Or no, was he Iceman? Or was he Goose? I don't remember. Well, I guess I can look it up. He is Iceman. God damn it. I was trying to find his awards. Did Val Kilmer win an Oscar? There we go. No, Val Kilmer was never nominated for one. He didn't even get nominated, despite his iconic roles in the films like The Doors and Tombstone. Wow, that is a egregious miscarriage of justice. Well deserved a supporting actor award for Doc Holliday. No chance. I can't even believe that. That crushes me. Also, we got to mention the fact that he was Batman. We've lost another Batman. He joins the ranks of departed Batmen, including Adam West and Kevin Conroy. I thought at first he was in one Batman movie, right? He was in Batman Forever with Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones. By the way, terrible Batman movie. Like, it's one of the worst. It's not the worst because the other Batman, who was only a one-off Batman, which was George Clooney, that is the worst Batman movie of all time. Like, solo Batman movie, worst. But, I thought Val Kilmer would have played. It's actually sucky that he wasn't in more Batman movies. Even though if he had stayed in the role, he would have been in Batman and Robin, and so he would have just been forever considered the worst Batman because of those terrible movies. So probably smart that he got out when he did. Nonetheless, he was still he was a Batman. Definitely probably on the lower tier, but he was, like I said, he was only Batman once. I think he was like top notch for a Bruce Wayne role. Like, he looks the part. He can obviously act his ass off. I feel like he is the equivalent to a Christian Bale, where Christian Bale was definitely more of a Bruce Wayne than a Batman, where I feel like Kevin Costner. No, not Kevin Costner. What the fuck is his name? I'm so bad with names. It pisses me off. Batman. Dude, this is pissing me off. I hate that I can never remember fucking actor. Michael Keaton. Jesus Christ. What? My brain is just goop. Michael Keaton, I think he was a more of a Batman than a Bruce Wayne, if that makes sense. I feel like the same about Ben Affleck. I think he's more of a Batman than a Bruce Wayne. So, but like I said, Val Kilmer, we gotta give it up to another departed Batman, and of course, one of the greatest roles of all time, Tombstone. I'm your Huckleberry. R.I.P. to Val Kilmer. I do want to mention, last week I was talking about the Joe Gatto situation with, the allegations and all that. And as I was talking about it, I kind of realized I didn't really know a whole lot of information about the situation. So I kind of kept my opinions on it vague. I didn't want to say, if it was worse than what it was, I didn't want to defend the guy. And if it was less than what it was, I didn't want to put him out to pasture. But after the podcast, I decided, well, I probably should do a little bit of research here. So I watched a couple of videos and saw some people breaking it down of what was happening, getting some opinions. Here's my conclusion to the current situation. This is before potentially anything else were to come out, or any new accusations to come out. So as of the current standing of what I know, the information that I have gathered, here's my conclusion to what is going on. Now, I actually don't know what's going on with Murr's situation, because he also has some allegations. I did not look into that. I was just looking specifically into Joe. It would appear that the one girl who, because there's two accusations against Joe. One was from a former employee, and the other was from a fan. I don't know as much information about the employee, but the fan, so she was 19. She met Joe at a cafe, or they were out, her and her mom went out for lunch, ran into Joe, took pictures. He mentioned her coming to the show, gave her tickets to come to the show. Was DMing with her, because she tagged him in the story after she took the photos with him, and then he was DMing with her. Already kind of that's a little odd. Usually celebrities don't do that. But from what I read of those initial DMs, nothing harmful. He got her backstage passes. She comes to the show, goes backstage, sees him again, posts on Instagram, and then more DMs continue. She says that eventually his DMs went to invisible mode. Is that what they're called? Where they disappear? Again, suspicious activity. But then she says that he invites her over to the hotel, and this is in the invisible messages, so you can't really see any of that. And she said she had been drinking. First of all, she just outed herself for underage drinking. She said she was 19 and drunk. And she said that her friend told her that she should go. And from what I gathered, you can look up all the texts and all the information, all this. She put out this huge video explaining her story. It would appear as though she knew what she was doing. She knew she was going there to have sex with this guy. She knew that, and even if she didn't know, she should have probably known. Because what guy invites a pretty girl to their hotel at 2 a.m? What's happening. And it sounded like that she knew that that's what was going to happen. She claimed she was drunk and under the influence, but she consciously went to the hotel. Now, I'm not saying that what Joe did was right. I'm not saying that he should have been DMing with this 19-year-old girl when he's in his 40s. That's kind of creepy behavior. Not illegal behavior. That's very important to note. And the legality issue of this comes from her being under the influence. From what I've gathered, it doesn't appear as though she was so far under the influence that she couldn't consciously make her own decisions. That's what I've gathered. In addition, the way she tells her story does not come across very, victim-esque. It almost comes across like she's, stoked to tell this story. And I'm not victim blaming. I'm not accusing her of not being a victim, but I'm just telling you what it appears to be. So that's my takeaway. I don't think that he was right for this. I think he was probably, taking advantage of a fan, a young fan. He was kind of using his fame to sleep with women. And I can only imagine that this was not the only time that this happened. But the legality thing of it, that's where I don't believe he did anything illegal. Perhaps, definitely what he did was, what's the word I'm looking for? Not right, I guess, would be just the easier way to put it. It was, it's not cool, but illegal? No. So that's just where it's at. And we'll see what else happens. I kind of feel for the guy in a way, because now he's just basically being publicly shamed for, like I said, not necessarily good behavior, but not illegal behavior. So he's kind of he's getting the fucking rod thrown at him. It just sucks when private shit like that comes out. But when you're a celebrity, your life isn't private anymore. So you kind of got to know that this shit's going to happen in a way. So it's a very rocky situation. And I do feel for the guy as far as that. Being publicly shamed is certainly not fun. I've been there. But sometimes, when you're doing bad shit, when you're doing shit you shouldn't be doing, maybe you should get shamed a little bit. So I'm kind of on the fence. But I just wanted to let you guys know I did, in fact, do some research. I did kind of listen to, checked out to see what was all going on. And that's the gatherings that I've made. Let's end this with something that I found a lane of humor that I didn't even know I liked. Okay? And this is going to be something that a lot of y'all probably won't like. That's why I saved it for the end. So if you don't like this, go ahead and just sign off now. But this is, like I said, I never thought that this was going to tickle my funny bone. But, dude, I can't get enough. And they are gagging videos. People gagging is just so funny to me. Whenever people are and I'm not talking about throwing up, okay? Throwing up is not funny to me. It's gross. But when people are fighting back the throw up, it's just the funniest thing. And I know there's people out there who have a gagging ish, when they hear somebody gagging, it makes them gag. Dad smelling dirty diapers and gagging, hilarious. There's these dudes that try to eat gross food. The way this guy gags kills me. So I'm going to play a couple of those for you. So, like I said, if you got the gag thing where it makes you sick, look away now. But this shit cracks me up. Alright, so I'll start you off a little easy, on the easier side of these gag deals. And what better way to do it than with a prank? There's this prank where parents will pretend to wipe poop on their kids' hands after they bring them toilet paper, and then just hilarity ensues.
I got poo-poo on you. I'm so sorry. It's on me too.
boys. It's all paper. It's all. Do you get chocolate? What is that?
Lick it.
This kid's so
What is
funny.
it?
She's just
What
too
is
funny.
it? What is 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 it?
I can't look at it, Mason.
What is it?
It's chocolate, baby.
What?
It's chocolate.
What?
It's chocolate. It's okay.
What?
I just
I mean, that's a cute gagging thing, but we'll rank it up a little bit. This one's fun. The guy that his wife has the gag thing, and then she. Yeah.
Laura, you look great in your dress again, part 2. But look at the sunset. We should get something.
There's people.
I hope you don't throw up on your dress.
Stop.
Don't get mad.
Stop. All right. Let's go. Come on, are we going?
What do you mean, are we going?
I'm not doing that.
Well, we can go right after this.
You said we're going and stop.
We're gonna go.
No.
Uh-oh. We're watering up. There it is.
Come on.
We'll go in one more.
All right, over. Come on.
What'd you almost do?
He's the wait.
What'd you do?
We're done. Video now.
Lauren, what happened?
No, Dad, stop.
They got you?
Done.
They got you. What'd they get you doing?
Oh God, hilarious. Now this guy cracks me up. I love this guy.
All right, y'all, this is my third attempt at trying to rank this food. Let's see. A baked bean pizza with eggs. That's fucking disgusting. That's 8. A cookie hamburger. I ate the fuck out of that. That's number 1. Frosted flakes of cheese. I don't know what the thought about that cheese and that milk, but that's making me fucking sick. That's a 6. Is that hot dog Wheaties? That's a 9. That's disgusting. An octopus in a chicken. That's a 10. Get that out here. Okay, look at that. Sorted. 7. I fucking hate fish, y'all. Clam chowder. That's a 5. Ham and bananas. What the fuck is that? Cheese? That's a 4. That ain't that. It could be worse. Noodles and oranges. Who the fuck would eat that? But I mean, it's a 3. What is that? Modi pigs? Oh, bloody.
That guy's the best. He's hilarious.
Ranking more gross
Oh, let's go ahead and do another one. Let's do another one.
ass food. Is that a fucking pig snout? It's got hair on it. That's a 10 solid.
This guy rules.
Raw fucking chicken. That's a...
Dude, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why do I love this? Why do I enjoy this? I don't feel sick about it at all. It's hilarious. How did I find this lane? But I saved the best for last. Okay, I saved the best for last. These are the 2 guys. It's called Porchcast. Shout out to Porchcast. This dude is the funniest gagger I've ever seen. He kills me.
I don't have a good feeling about this, but then again,
I have a great feeling about this.
oh, it's gonna be fun.
I really do.
It's gonna be
I
fun.
They're
think
eating
we're gonna let Chris
fermented tofu.
Get the glory on this one.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah. Look at the oil on top.
This guy kills me. He kills me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's pungent.
I can smell it from here.
Put your
it's
nose
loud.
on that.
This stuff's loud. Ooh. Okay. It's so soft. It's so soft.
Oh. Ooh, gross. That is gross.
I hate the way it smells.
It's so bad.
Pour some of the juice in.
So tingly.
Oh, 100%. Oh.
You pour the.
I got some oil too. My ribs hurt. Oh. All right, let's get an official whiff.
What the fuck?
Please.
Smell it.
God, he's the best. He kills me. He's so fucking good. Like, one of the craziest fucking gaggers I've ever seen. Dude, I fucking love it. I'm a sick son of a bitch. What can I say? That's where I get my jollies on. That's what I find humorous these days. And that's how we're gonna wrap it up. You know what I mean? Like, what better way? And I hope that might have been another prank on y'all. Maybe I got some of y'all sick at work or in your car. God. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Glad to be back. It was a short hiatus, but you know what? We're back. We're doing it, and we ain't stopping. Remember, be true to yourself. Do you. Don't try and... You don't have to feel like you need to be like anybody else, or just be you. That's the best person you can possibly be. And don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it. Just gotta keep on keeping on.
Why don't you talk in the microphone? I got a back right here. Back of my 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 got it. Back of my 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 life's a garden, dig.